Tonight, we accuse the government of Canada of disregarding its own criminal code and of profiting from sex. Good evening. I'm Ken Cavanaugh, and this is W5. The government of Canada, and most of the provincial governments, too, stand accused tonight by their own actions. According to prima facie evidence W5 has gathered this week, these governments are knowingly collecting revenue derived from illegal activities. The governments, otherwise known as the Crown, can't be charged with breaking the law, so they get off scot-free. But W5 submits that the governments are, in fact, committing a grave moral breach of the criminal code, both knowingly and hypocritically. We refer to birth control, more specifically male contraceptives. Here's our case. First, look at this film, which shows W5 story editor Frank Dre buying some male contraceptives.
Hi. I'd like to buy some contraceptives, please. I don't know. She was just taking off the pill. We never used this kind before.
Well, there's 3 for $60 the sheep, or there's 3 for $1.25 the Ramsey.
Well, what's a good one to start out with?
You just pay the car down to $2
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
The law says that no one can sell a contraceptive or a birth control device or disseminate information about birth control unless, as the code puts it, it's in the public good. Now, Mr. Dre, who bought the contraceptives from the druggist, made no inquiry as to the public good, made no mention of it. The druggist made no inquiry. Frank Dre asked for the contraceptives, and he got them. Dre went to 7 other drugstores on the same mission, and he got precisely the same results. We decided then to hand the necessary information over to the police. Story editor Ron Dunn went to 2 police stations. Here at the first one, he was politely received by the desk sergeant, who studied the complaint and decided to hand the matter over to a detective. However, he refused to allow our camera to accompany them upstairs to the detective's office because apparently the offices at police stations are not part of the public domain. 20 minutes later, though, story editor Dunn was back with the detective, and the detective had told him to go through the proper channels. As far as we knew, the police station was the proper channel through which to file a complaint.
I won't even comment on it. I'll explain why. So we have to go through the proper channel.
Dunn then went to the next police station.
My name is Ron Dunn. I've got information that 2 crimes have been committed.
Only 2?
2. There's a drugstore in the area here, Sergeant, that is selling contraceptives and has sold some recently as contraceptives, which is contrary to the criminal code, and also that the Planned Parenthood Association is selling literature advocating birth methods.
And so it was that this police station accepted Dunn's complaint and promised an investigation of it. We don't know yet the results of that investigation or if there was any investigation at all. Our intentions haven't been to victimize any one drugstore owner, but to demonstrate that the law is being broken daily and that everybody, including the police department and the governments, know that it is. Now, for some strange reason, the authorities once in a while decide to nail somebody on that, in that law. One man who has been prosecuted is Harold Fine, who imports male contraceptives and by the carload. A Roman Catholic laid the necessary information against him, and here's Mr. Fine at his warehouse.
Drugstore is selling contraceptives for the past 30, 40 years, and without restriction. It's just as though the law doesn't exist.
Where do you get contraceptives from?
We import them from the States.
Well, don't they have to cross? They cross the border, but don't they have to go through customs?
Yes, they clear customs in Toronto.
What does the customs man say when they come in?
Well, they permitted the importation as far back as I know.
Do they charge a duty on them?
Yes, there's a duty and sales tax.
How much is the duty?
The duty sales tax would probably amount close to 50%.
And the customs people it's just another cargo of goods as far as they're concerned.
Yes. I mean, it just goes under a certain tariff item, and you clear.
There's no attempt at concealing it?
No, it's described when you clear at customs, you describe what the article is.
This is the finished Canadian product in the fancy box and in the white box. And I presume these cartons with the big stamp on Made in USA, this is how the contraceptive comes into the country.
Yes, packed with what we call in bulk.
And then you separate the bulk and divide it down and package it in a fancy manner according to modern standards, I suppose. Do they display contraceptives now in drugstores?
Yes, I have seen it displayed in some drugstores.
Because I was going to say, otherwise your design in that must be pretty well wasted. Don't you feel somewhat upset that every day you come in here you break the law?
No, because after all, the vast majority of married couples use contraceptives of one type or another.
Yeah, but out of this business, you are a criminal. You have 2 criminal convictions.
Well, let's put it this way. The law is supposed to express the will of the people. And when the law doesn't express the will of the vast majority, then, well, how did Dickens say it? The law is an ass.
Part of what Mr. Fine said is the substance of our charge, that the federal and provincial governments are taking a large rake off from the importation and the sale of an article which, the law says, can only be sold under certain circumstances. The name of the game is hypocrisy, from the cop on the beat right up to the cabinet.